if you could sit with Jesus for 5 minutes, what would you say or ask him?
Oh,
I know that one. I felt like that one of all questions, he'd actually think and it'd stump him a little bit.
It's the exact question I was about to ask.
It's the second time now. So take your time. You can think.
look, I think I would probably, I'd be speechless, obviously, in front of Jesus.
Not for 5 minutes, all right?
But I would want to know if he's happy with me, because I want to be with him for all eternity.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would want to know from him, am I on the right path? Am I on the right path to spend eternity with you? I would want to make sure, when Simon Peter had that conversation with him after the resurrection, and Jesus said to him, Simon Peter, do you love me? And he said, yes, Lord, you know that I love you. I want to make sure that God really believed that I loved him and I was loving him in the right way, that we can have that encounter, every day in prayer. We can have that encounter. We can seek the Lord's feedback in our life and reflect.
Yeah. So on that point, what I wanted to touch on was you mentioned something like you wanted to see if you're on the right path with Jesus. There are a lot of kind of Christian denominations that would find that very shocking because they're like, you should know that you're saved instantly. And, I've had a lot of discussions with people like that where they say, do you know that you're saved? I said, well, yeah, I mean, God offers me salvation, but I need to play my part, and I need to, not that anything that I can do is going to lead me to my salvation, but it's kind of like he's stretched out his hand to me and I got to grab it. But there are a lot of religions or denominations of Christianity that kind of just say, no, it's the craziest thing is that you should even question for 1 second. So what would you say to someone like that?
Yeah, look, I think the questioning is not from God's side. It's from our side. I never question God's salvation. I never question that's offered to us. Definitely, God has come down to earth in Jesus, has given his life, has shed his blood to offer salvation. He has come to take on my punishment and my sin upon himself so that I can be saved. These are facts.
Non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables from God's side. The variable is not God's side, it's me. I can accept that or I can reject that. I can walk that path or I can deviate from that path. And it's not in a moment. It's not a moment's decision. It's a life. It's a journey. In any journey, you can go off the path. And so while some people say that salvation is earned in a moment, the moment you believe, yes, it's earned in that moment as you accepted Christ and his salvation. But you need to continue to walk that journey, that path. I can step off it at any time. And so to our last breath, we need to be begging God that we remain on that path. That's simple as that.